Good East positioning this everybody. The name's Wolfgang. Welcome back to another episode of the Hunger Games Simulator. Last time we did cars as suggested by Plush Production Studios, where I got my first win of the season. Here's hoping I can get a second so I don't have to pick between some of these others. Anyways, this episode we are doing Doreamon characters as suggested by Kayuman. Yeah, just gonna go with that. I don't remember the number. Anyways, this is the suggestion. This is a franchise I'm very much so unfamiliar with. Uh, I have no idea what any of these characters are. I'm just gonna thank my watching of anime for giving me a better understanding of how to pronounce these characters' names. I guess if I have to pick two characters, um, oh fuck, what do I pick? I don't know who to pick because I know none of these guys. Let's just go with Hidetoshi, and let's just go with Suneo and Hidetoshi. As the tribute set on the podiums, the horn sounds. Tamako, Miss Goda, Nobiro, and Miss Honekawa have shared everything they've gathered. Nobito runs away. Mr. S runs away. Suneo runs away. Nobi sets an explosive while killing Nobisuke, Nobiru, and Gian. Okay, just because I said I know how to pronounce, just because I said I can do it, doesn't mean I want to do it. Thank you, Nobi. You're awesome. Mr. Kaminari runs away. Tamao runs away. Jaiko grabs a shield. Seiwashi runs away. Tsunekichi falls into a frozen lake and drowns. Hidetoshi grabs a backpack, not realizing it's empty. Michan runs away. Doraemon runs away. Muku, Michiko, Dorami, and Shizuka share everything they gather before running. Nobisako falls into a frozen lake and drowns. That was an actual bloodbath. Okay, good. Jago and Nisgoto were together for the day. Nobita strangles Nobiro after engaging in a fist fight. Seiwashi tries to sleep the entire day. Nobi tries to spearfish with the trident. Suneo attacks Doreamon, but he manages to escape. Mii-chan and Tamao hunt for their tributes. Miss Honekawa receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Dorami, Mr. S, and Tamako hunt for the tributes. Muku runs away from Michiko. Shizuka and Hidetoshi split up to search for resources, and Mr. Kaminari searches for a water source. A quarter of the cast is gone. 6 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. We have Nobisuke, Nobiru, Gian, Tsunekichi, Nobisako, and Nobiro completely done. We have 18 survivors left standing and no district completely out of play. Quarter of the way done. Let's proceed. Tamao convinces Michiko to snuggle with them. Doraemon starts a fire. Mrs. Goto receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Muko and Hidetoshi huddle for warmth. Shizuka tends to Dorami's wounds. Suneo and destroys Seiwashi supplies that she is asleep. Miss Honekawa questions her sanity. Jaiko climbs a tree to rest. Nobita thinks about winning. Nobi quietly hunts. Michan loses sight of where she is. Mr. S stays awake all night. Mr. Kaminari questions his sanity. And Tamako receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Day 2. Miss Honekawa collects fruit from a tree. Tamako tries to spearfish the trident. Suneo practices his archery. Dorami discovers caves. Seiwashi hunts for the tributes. Michan tracks down and kills Jaiko. Shizuko receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Hidetoshi and Muku work together to drown Nobita. Mr. S tries to spearfish with the trident. Tamako questions her sanity. Doraemon and Michiko split up for resources. Mrs. Goda sets an explosive while killing Nobi. And Mr. Kaminari receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. 3 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Jaiko from District 8, Nobita from District 1, and Nobi from District 11. With that, I believe we're down to 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah. 15 survivors left standing. District 12 is completely out and is the only one completely out. Top 15. Mr. S and Michiko tell stories about themselves to each other. Tamako starts a fire. Doraemon is woken by nightmares. Sunewo and Hidetoshi run into each other and decide to choose for the night. For once, my two root fours do not kill each other. Miss Hanekawa defeats Miss Goda in a fight with Spares of Life. Muka lets Tamao into her shelter. Michan lets Mr. Kaminari into her shelter. Doraemon cooks her food before putting a fire out. Seiwashi cooks his food before putting his fire out. Shizuka sees a fire but stays hidden. As Hanekawa fishes, Shizuka begs for Seiwashi to kill her. He refuses, keeping Shizuka alive. Come on, just end it faster. Dorami discovers a cave. Miss Goda attacks Tamako, but she manages to escape. Mr. Kaminari injures himself. Muku receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Tamao runs away from Michiko. Mr. S and Michan hunt for the Chimutes. Doraemon begs for Sunewo to kill him. He refuses, keeping Doraemon alive. And Hidetoshi falls into a pit and dies. The one death is Hidetoshi. We're down to 14 survivors. And District 12 is the only one completely out. Michiko goes to sleep. Tamako attacks Doraemon, but Tomo manages to protect him, killing Tamako. Okay, down to 13. Mr. S and Dorami sleep in shifts. Miss Hanekawa and Shizuka talk about Chibi still alive. Sunewo questions his sanity. Miss Goda, Seiwashi, Mr. Kaminari, Michan, and Muku sleep in shifts. Day 4. Miss Goda receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Miss Hanekawa forces Tamao to kill Sunewo and Michiko. He refuses to kill, so Miss Hanekawa kills him instead. Okay, so Tamao is dead. Mr. S searches for a water source. Doraemon collects fruit from a tree. Shizuka, Seiwashi, Michan, and Mr. Kaminari raid Muku's camp while she's hunting. And Dorami thinks about home. 2 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Tamako from District 3 and Tamao from District 11. With that being said in mind, Districts 11 and 12 are completely out, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 survivors standing. We are halfway through. Doraemon, Ms. Goda, Michan, and Sunewo sleep in shifts. Mr. Kaminari receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Shizuka receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Michiko looks at the night sky. Muku is fends Seiwashi, Mr. Hess, and Ms. Hanekawa away from his fire. And Dorami receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Ms. Hanekawa receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Mr. Kaminari falls into a pit and dies. 11. Mr. S scares Michiko off. Michan overhears Shizuka and Doraemon talking in the distance. Mugu collects fruit from a tree. Seiwachi receives fresh fruit from an unknown sponsor. Miss Goda, Dorami, and Suneo start fighting, but Dorami runs away as Miss Goda kills Suneo. You know what? Alright, I didn't really care about this episode anyway. 2 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Mr. Kaminari from District 9 and Suneo from District 3. Districts 3, 11, and 12 are completely out. We are down to the top 10 survivors. Because 12 minus 2 is 10. Proceed. Ms. Goda and Michiko tell stories about themselves to each other. Doraemon begs for Seiwashi to kill him. He refuses, keeping Doraemon alive. Dorami spears Miku in the abdomen. We're in the single digits. Michan tries to treat her infection. Shizuko convinces Miss Hanekawa to snuggle with her, and Mr. S cooks his food before putting his fire out. The cornucopia is replenished with food supplies, lemons, and memoirs from Chibi's families. Doraemon decides not to go to the feast. Mrs. Goda repeatedly stabs Dorami to death with sides. Seiwashi, Shizuka, Mr. S all decide not to go. Mrs. Hanekawa dies from an infection. Michan decides not to go, and Michiko falls into a pit and dies. Day 6. Michan camouflages herself into the bushes. Shizuka practices her archery. Miss Goda and Doraemon work together for the day. Mr. S discovers the cave, and Seiwashi searches for a water source. So in other words, we have 6 survivors left standing. 4 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Muku from District 8, Dorami from District 6, Miss Hanekawa from District 5, and Michiko from District 7. We see everyone's status. Districts 3, 5, 6, 8, 11, and 12 are completely out, and we are down to the top 6. Top 6 survivors. Top quarter of the cast. Mr. S questions his sanity. Doraemon stays awake all night. Michan sets an explosive while killing off Seiwachi, Shizuka, and Mrs. Goda. Ooh. Mr. S kills Michan as he tries to run, and Doraemon falls into a frozen lake and drowns. Again, I don't think we've ever... Okay, no. One Piece, the One Piece episode all the way back in Season 1. But still, I don't think aside from that, we've ever seen a protagonist do this well, let alone win. I mean, again, Luffy's the grand exception to that rule because he actually won and he is the protagonist of that episode. But still, Doreamon did surprisingly well because the protagonist curse. 5 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Sawashi from District 4, Shizuka from District 2, Muskoda from District 7, Michan from District 10, and Doraemon from District 1, meaning the winner is Mr. S from District 9. Oh. Is that how you spell? Okay, how do you spell AEM1? We have another champion in there, and we got 12 more episodes until our champions episode of season 4. Suggest them in the comments, but before we do that, in 24th place, Nobisuke Nobi. In 23rd place, Nobiru Nobi. In 22nd place, Takeshi Goda. In 21st place, Tsunekichi Honekawa. In 20th place, Nobisaku Nobi. In 19th place, Nobirao Nobi. In 18th place, Jaiko Goda. In 17th place with 1 kill, Nobita Nobi. In 16th place with 3 kills, Nobi Nobi. In 15th place with 1 kill, Hidetoshi Dekisugi. In 14th place, Tamako Nobi. In 13th place with 1 kill, Tamao Kataoka. In 24th place, Mr. Kaminari. In 11th place, Sunewo Honekawa. In 10th place with 1 kill, Muku. In 9th place with 1 kill, Dorami. In 8th place with 1 kill, Mrs. Honekawa. In 7th place, Michiko Minamoto. In 6th place, Seiwashi Nobi. In 5th place, Shizuka Minamoto. In 4th place with 3 kills, Mrs. Goda. In 3rd place with 4 kills, Michan. In 2nd place, Doraemon. And the winner is the easiest one to pronounce by far, Mr. S. Thank you, goodness. I'll take that. Anyways, moving on to the stats. District placements in 12th, 12, and 11th, 11, and 10th, 3, and 9th, 8, and 8th, 6, and 7th, 5, and 6th, 4, and 5th, 2, and 4th, 7th, 7, and 3rd, 10, and 2nd, 1, and 1st, 9. There you have it. That will do it for our Doraemon Hunger Games Simulator. I hope you all enjoyed. Again, we only have around 12, halfway there, so around 12 more episodes until 25, which is when we take the previous 24 and have them fight against each other to determine the ultimate champion of Season 4. Suggest your franchise down in the comments below to fill out episodes. But I will say this, the next episode will be, as suggested by Grand Admiral Throne on YouTube, we will be doing the Cleveland show. I am working on the roster. I have 15 characters from that show set aside. I got to do around 9 more, but that episode should come out relatively soon. So, yeah. But until that time happens, I must bid you all a good west positioning of the sun, everybody. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.